The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Jess De Los Santos. One media law expert is flagging the abrupt transfer of ABS-CBN frequencies to a firm linked to the Villar Group, saying it may have implications in this year's elections. Shaila Francisco with the story.
Billionaire Manny Pacquiao will now take over two frequencies formerly assigned to ABS-CBN. This came after the National Telecommunications Commission granted Advanced Media Broadcasting System, or AMBS, permits to use channels 2 and 16. In 2019, Congress passed a bill extending the franchise of AMBS, which has an FM station back then, for 25 years. The following year, the NTC recalled the frequencies of ABS-CBN after Congress denied its franchise renewal bid. And just last year, House lawmakers approved the sale and transfer of control of AMBS to Planet Cable, which is owned by Villar. A media law expert questioned the sudden transfer of frequencies.
Para siyang isang midnight appointment na malapit nang matapos yung administration, bigla lang magbibigay siya ng ano-anong frequencies at kung ano-anong pabor sa kanyang mga kaalyado.
She also warned of its implications in the upcoming elections.
Maaaring gamitin ito sa halalan sa eleksyon at maaaring gamitin para pagkakitaan dahil maraming gustong mangampanya. Alam naman natin lahat na kandidato, yun pong anak ni Manny Pacquiao para sa Senado, tiyak na magagamit yung Free TV Channel 2.
Aside from Channel 2 and 16, Channel 23 has been assigned to Aliw Broadcasting Corporation and Channel 43 to Suarezug Media Corporation. Suarezug is also known as Sunshine Media Network, which is the broadcasting arm of Pastor Apollo Kibuloy's Kingdom of Jesus Christ. Kibuloy is known ally of President Duterte. For one expert, the NTC seemed to have forgotten to inform the public of the available frequencies.
It was just, assigned.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no public declaration that these frequencies are available for assignment.
But the NTC stressed that the three firms were among the first to apply to operate a digital TV back in 2006 and 2007. The agency added that they have sought guidance from several government agencies, including the Justice Department. It can be noted as well that DPWH Mark Villar's wife, Emeline Aglipay Villar, is an undersecretary at the DOH. The Villar camp has yet to issue a statement on the matter. Shaila Francisco, VR 1 News.
The Octa Research Group says an Omicron surge is now unlikely to happen in Metro Manila. In an interview with the chiefs, Octa's Guido David and Nick Austriaco assured that the COVID-19 trend in NCR is already going downward. That's despite concerns of unreported positive cases from antigen testing.
It's unlikely that Omicron will return to the capital to initiate a surge. There's no more wood to burn. With regards to the provinces, there is a concern, and it's going to be region by region, depending upon the level of vaccination and the health capacity, how the impact of the Omicron surge will be on our kababayans there.
Yes, Father.
So we have to wait for the surge to peak in these places.
David also noted that vaccine hesitancy in the Philippines has gone down to 5% from 75% 2 years ago. He attributed this improved figure to the rare instances of vaccine side effects.
Originally, back in 2020, the vaccine hesitancy was, I think, as high as 75%, meaning only 1 out of 4 Filipinos were at that time willing to get vaccinated. Now it's down to all the way to 5%. And we tend to think this 5%, they do not want to get vaccinated because it's against their beliefs. I think most people, when they see more and more people getting vaccinated, and they're not seeing any side effects, basically. Yeah, and they know people who got vaccinated. I think that's the best way to get people, to convince people to get vaccinated.
The government is set to roll out vaccines for ages 5 to 11 years old next week, but some doctors are against the move. JC Cosico tells us why.
Laika Besina's youngest daughter, Miel, is 7 years old and the only one in the family who has not been vaccinated yet. That's why Laika is looking forward to the vaccination rollout for kids aged 5 to 11 on February 4.
Siyempre, bata to mahirap at mga mahihina pa ang mga resistensya. Kailangan nila ng dagdag proteksyon para sa sarili nila.
Pfizer shots will be used as well, but with a smaller dosage of 10 micrograms. The dosage used for 12 years old and up is at 30 micrograms. Kids will also be observed for side effects for 3 weeks between the first and second shots. Health authorities say kids, especially those with comorbidities, should get jabbed. Children with generic and neurologic conditions, renal disorders, and other comorbidities may receive COVID-19 shots.
Para po sa mga kabataang may karamdaman or comorbidities, mas mataas ng 1.8 na times ang risk na sila ay tamaan ng malubhang COVID-19 na maaring mga ilangan ng intensive care.
However, some parents like Carice are still undecided on having her kid inoculated, citing the possible side effects.
Kasi si Mami, nung nagpabaksin, siya, talaga, nanlambot, matagal siya bago nakarecover dun sa vaccine.
Some doctors are also against this move.
You're also seeing some complications related to the vaccine. The risk, or the benefit has gone down, but the risk is seemingly going up with time. So therefore, hindi na talaga rational.
This claim, though, is being refuted by Pfizer's pediatric clinical trials in other countries. Those with myocarditis or the inflammation of the heart muscle are, quote, very rare. Naitag says the common adverse reactions are pain in the injection site.
Hindi naman yan basta-basta, nandyan lang nang walang nararamdaman ng bata. So magre-reklamo yan, masakit ang dibdib niya, parang ang bilis ng tibok ng puso niya, or mabilis siyang mahapo. So yung mga ganung sintomas, hindi naman natin ipapagsawalang bahala yon. So kakailanganin natin magpatingin sa doktor.
Experts reiterate that all vaccines have an expected side effect, but it doesn't mean that it's ineffective and unsafe. They also assured the shots underwent a rigorous process before being rolled out for the younger age group. Around 15.5 million kids are expected to receive COVID-19 shots from the 5 to 11 age group. Latest data show that over 7.2 million adolescents, or those in the 12 to 17 age group, have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. But a booster shot for the age group is still far-fetched. For News 5, JC Cosico, We Are One News.
Senator Ping Luxon hits back at Vice President Leni Robredo's claim that he lacks on-the-ground experience. In a tweet, Luxon denies not having enough experience in terms of groundwork. The senator says he's just not a show-off whenever he provides help to people in need. Presidential aspirant and Senator Manny Pacquiao says he is unbothered by President Duterte's critique of this year's presidentiables. Pacquiao is confident that the president was not referring to him when Duterte said that there is one candidate who is not ripe for the presidency and one that's corrupt. The senator adds that he is still optimistic about getting President Duterte's endorsement. Pacquiao also seems ready to make amends with Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi, who leads the other faction of PDP Laban.
Basta sa akin naman, katulad ng sinabi ko, ayaw ko makipag-away, ay gusto ko pagkakaisa, basta doon sa pagbabago, doon sa tunay, malinis na panggobyerno. Ayaw ko nung mga tiwali, ayaw ko nung may hukos-pukos dyan. Kailangan naman ng taong bayan ang manalo sa laban na ito.
The Philippine Olympic Committee no longer recognizes Philip Huico as president of the PATAFA. This after the Ethics Committee concluded that Huico harassed pole vaulter E.G. Obiena through malicious public accusations. Marty Bautista with the details.
The Philippine Olympic Committee has officially declared Philippine Athletics Track and Field Association Chief Philip Huico as persona non grata in a General Assembly Wednesday. POC President Bambol Tolentino says a total of 54 regular national sports associations attended the assembly. 36 voted in favor of the decision, including Athletes Commission member and Tokyo Olympics gold medalist Heidelin Diaz, as well as Olympic swimmer Jessie Lacuna. 11 NSAs, meanwhile, had a no vote, which means they did not sign the notion. 5 opposed the decision, including weightlifting President Monico Puentevella, wushu, squash, athletics, and hockey. 3 others abstained. Huico was also present in the General Assembly.
Yes, he was given a chance to speak. So sinasabi nga niya, nag-explain din siya ng side niya. Kaya lang, bakit hindi niya doon in-explain sa Ethics Committee? Bakit ngayon sasabihin niyo na non-jurisdiction? Ay kung non-jurisdiction pala, di okay lang. Di let it be.
Huico served as PATAFA president since 2015 until he was re-elected for the same position last year. According to Tolentino, the POC no longer sees Huico as PATAFA's president, which means he will not be allowed to join the next General Assemblies. Tolentino says he is not angry at the PATAFA chief and that he is just following protocols from the Olympic Committee.
He's still the president of PATAFA on other matters, but sa POC, hindi siya presidente ng PATAFA. We don't recognize him. They can still function. Meron naman silang vice president.
Recall that just recently, world-class pole vaulter E.J. Obiena backed out of the mediation set up by the PSC, stating that he lost trust for Huico and the NSA. His Ukrainian coach Vitaly Petrov adds that from the 7 years he worked as Obiena's coach, Huico had never asked him what PATAFA can do to further help in Obiena's career in pole vaulting. He also questions PATAFA's goals. As for Huico's side, he believes the case was railroaded. He claims there was no due process in POC's decision to declare him as persona non grata. For Huico, the POC also didn't give opportunities to verify the 36 members that approved the resolution in the General Assembly. In the end, Huico says he accepts the decision if it's the price he has to pay for, quote, holding his own athlete accountable. For News 5, Marty Bautista, We Are One News.
Here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. It's not just Channel 2. As it turns out, other analog channels formerly held by ABS-CBN have already been farmed out and assigned to other companies. The government is giving unvaccinated and partially unvaccinated individuals less than a month to get inoculated. After this, authorities will begin to strictly implement the no vaccine, no ride policy. And after 6 months since its international release, the 9th installment of The Fast and the Furious finally makes its way to the Philippines. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 10:45 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Jess De Los Santos. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe. Philippines, we are One News.